Hi, I just told you one story where UMAP projection was discussed in relation to racial issues, and now we seems to have another story related to racial issues. What's going on in science nowadays? It is typical that when some genius guys invent something genius, they are overexcited. They think it can solve all issues in the world, make everybody happy, and then they sell it out to a public in the same way, and public takes it as a toy and start messing around with this toy, and soon we realize that no, it cannot be used everywhere and for everything. There are some limits. And now probably this is what happens with AI applications, that we are finding limits of it, and we realize that nothing is perfect in the world of artificial intelligence. So the test is from 2022, relatively recent, but not exactly the latest. At that time, one student decided to check what artificial intelligence will generate as a photo of American man and his house. And then he got some white man in front of the colonial style house, and when he asked what if it is a African man and his fancy house, then yeah, you will be horrified. Then she got this. Note that this leg is coming from nowhere. We can fix the leg, but it's not the issue. It's not a fancy house, and it's not what is asked. The basis for artificial intelligence is the collection of the human work processed by the machine and extracted out of the reality, out of the real practices. And therefore, if practices are flawed, then the extraction of those generalized images or decisions is also biased. Nothing to be surprised. Of course, finding this glitch, designers of these programs try to make some corrections. For instance, recent AI application says that try a new technique to create more diversity that do not specify race or gender, but one way or another you have to train your AI machinery against some real example, and therefore the issue is how you can select a proper training set to make a politically correct, let's say, in all aspects, the result out of it, especially when people are trying really impossible and unbelievable things. So we are very sensitive to the ethnic issues, and how we can erase ethnic issues out of our heated conversations, I don't know. You might be shocked or surprised. Is it really so new and unexpected? A while ago, not that long ago, there was a documentary on the Netflix, Coded Bias, where another activist investigated common practices at that time. And these were early ages where different agencies, mostly in USA, start using first generations of AI or machine learning. Actually, it's not always AI. Quite often it is more like machine learning tools. Start assisting to some insurance companies, some other stuff, and also hiring and firing practices. And then again, it appeared that there is a particular bias in hiring and firing, and why it is, because all these algorithms are trained on the real cases. So the algorithm is not inventing some new solution, it's simply optimizing the old one. And it was quite a commotion around this film. And I don't know how much it changes in the reality, because if you look at the situation today, then you see that uh, the practices of AI in hiring and firing still continue. For instance, if I want to look for a job in my province of Groningen where I live, you can come across the company Indeed, which offers you a lot of different stuff. But then, according to this place, the Indeed is already a company which is using AI in accelerating job employment, hiring and firing, not really firing, only hiring, in the Netherlands and in Groningen, including Groningen. But if you look at in this paper, which is 2020, yes, then you see that the practices or the basis for the machine learning training in the Netherlands was already highly biased. So what AI consumed as the basis for the selection protocol might be biased too. So you might ask why AI is repeating human malpractices. And the answer is because AI has to be trained on the real data. But whom we have to blame then? I think we still have to blame human, because AI simply learns human habits and probably it does it too well. For the future, of course, it is a warning to those who design AIs that we have to clean up and do some agreements on what we are using for the training, and this is actually in line of the European legislation. So European legislation goes in that direction that once it became a law, it will require the developers of high-risk AI systems provide technical documentation, including datasheets describing the training data and techniques, as well as details about the expected output quality and potential discriminatory impacts, etc., etc. Could we foresee it before? Could we act sooner? Maybe, but probably not. First, we have to trace errors and discuss the errors and collect enough errors in order to change the direction and move on. I am sure AI will survive these bumps and move forward.